Aloha, everyone. Friday was a pretty rough session overall for the stock market. The Nasdaq was down 0.62%, and while I said the pullback the previous two sessions looked healthy, today's pullback definitely was not healthy overall. But whenever you really look at it, let's not mistake, a couple of trees for the entire forest. The Russell 2000 is still trending above its 50-day and 200-day moving average, so everything's good there. The Nasdaq is still above its 50-day moving average. The S&P 500 is really kind of, while it's under a half-ass buy signal, it's pretty neutral, but it's still trending above its key moving averages. The Dow Jones Industrial Average was actually higher today, and the Dow Jones Transportation Average continues to look pretty sick. But overall, things aren't that, horrific. We'll have to see how the 6, 9, and 615 lows play out. I believe that we're still in the middle of a choppy uptrend, but it looks like we're going through a bit of rotation as the semiconductors, solar stocks, Chinese stocks, and biotechs. It was a mixed bag for the biotechs. It was a pretty rough day, and I wrote in my personal trading diary down more stocks than I ever had before. Or not ever before, but in a very, very long time. And we have a lot of sells tonight, but while they're 50% sells at the end of day basis, stocks like, TREX, I'm not selling them in the morning. What I'm going to be doing is using the low a day. You got to go to the new positions page and look at all of them. But a lot of stocks sold off on heavy volume below their 20-day moving averages, and I got knocked out. For instance, I just pulled a Bona. I got completely knocked out of that one intraday. And then what was another one? CAVM was a 50% sell on a day basis. I already got knocked out of that the entire position. But stocks like Netflix, INTL, 50% of the positions can be moved up. And then stocks like PanW and Ruby's a goner. I would go ahead and put this final sell stop below today's low a day. But for stocks like AVGO, where we still have a big gain, what I might do is so for instance, I have a final sell stop right here. I'm going to split it in half. But what I might do is when I split it in half, put let's say you have 100 shares. So then 50 shares will remain here, 25 will remain here, and then 25 below this low a day. And then PanW is the other one I was thinking of. So I might have a support level, let's say one sell stop here, and then the one sell stop I have here, I might, let's say I have 100 shares here, I might leave 50 shares here and bring 50 shares up here to the low a day. It's really up to you, but you need to look at all the 50% sells because they're all breaking below key moving averages, and I'm not exactly sure how I'm going to play out all of these stocks that you see me bringing up, but most of them, if they're brand new longs, haven't gone anywhere, 100% of their sell stops will go below today's low a day. They're long-term winners. It'll be 50 or 25%. But really, overall, there's some weakness out there. And going over the full sells, for the first time in a very long time, we had a new long immediately fail. So that's another today red flag on this market. Might want to chop around a bit more before going up. But TRR was a new long position. It was barely a new long position for the gold members because it was slightly above $10. Completely failed intraday, went below my final sell stop, which is back here. My computer locked up there for a second, which was below 934. So TRR failed. Also, NXPI, which I've already been fully sold out of, back here. I believe it was this day back here. It is now a full sell on an end of day basis. BSFT, I still have half my position left. 50% of my sell stop was hit when it moved below here. This move below the 50-day moving average is basically a death wish for it because it hasn't really gone anywhere since our long signal, and our catalyst, green BOP, is gone. So I'm moving the remainder of the sell stop up to 34.68, but BSFT on an end-of-day basis is technically a full sell. MFLX failed intraday for me, and end of day is a full sell. And then QRVO, technically so whenever I first went long, half my sell stop was below this low. Second half was below this low. After we broke out above these highs, I moved it all to this low a day. Intraday, QRVO knocked me out of the entire position. But on an end of day basis, this is a full sell. But if you're still long, use the 79.66 level as a final sell. And now, while all this looks bad, because we have a lot of sells and there's a lot of sell stops, I'm going to have to move up on stocks that I didn't get, like sell signals, like Pacey's fine, for instance. HLE's fine, but I still need to check all these out because they had heavy volume sell-offs, like IMS, MYCC. I mean, any stock that I own that had a heavy volume sell-off, I've got to check my stops. So there's going to be a lot of homework this weekend. And then to even make things more confusing, Like I said, don't mistake a few trees for the forest. We got more long signals again tonight. And I tell you what, on a day where the market pretty much had a pretty rough session, I don't know, man. That's, either these are fake outs, which is great because I'm still fully invested. So I won't even be able to put, let's say if I allocate 2.5% account capital I save to this position, there's no way in hell I can do that because I barely have, let's say, 5% account capital left at all, period. So I got to split them up onto all of these. But DPZ is giving a long signal. Cancel quality stock. It was confirmed in the new 52-week high scan and price volume BOP surge scan. So that one's a good signal, 2.5% if you're not fully invested. ATSG, same thing, 2.5%. ATSG is canceling quality stock. It's above the $10 level, so I consider it higher quality, but it's not like it's above 30 or 40 or 50. 50 is the preferred super high quality level. But confronting the price volume BOP scan, that's 2.5%. HMST, look at that chart, looks really good. Zoom 4 looks really good. Looks like it's closing and opening are the same, but if you look here, it's actually closing slightly below where it opened. And I normally don't take these kind of stocks long, but I've already profiled HMST on Stock Twits just last week. BOP has been building steadily, the green BOP, and a big volume surge today with a pocket pivot point signal, and my risk is extremely low. If I'm wrong, probably I'm going to risk at most is a little over 2%, so got to take it. 2.5%. HMST was confirmed in the price volume BOP scan. And then WSBF, here we are again, another small regional bank stock giving a pocket pivot point buy signal. BOP surge to max green, huge volume, longer term chart. You can see it's part of a very large uptrend. Regional banks have been doing very well today. Unfortunately, one of them that I just went long did that. So, they're not perfect, but they're pretty strong right now. And then more speculative long, LJPC, BOP surge to max green, huge volume, pocket pivot point signal. Way, way, way riskier. You're going to risk at least 7% before it moves below the low of day, and you're wrong there. And ultimately 10% before really what I'm going to use as my final cut loss, 21.78. So I'm going to give it just a little bit more leeway below the 22.13 level, especially since the market's a little rocky right now. But it's a good overall pattern. You can see the longer term pattern on a Zoom 2. It's part of a much longer uptrend along with a short-term uptrend. And then I got an ad signal in ULTA that we're already long, another pocket pivot point signal. This was a cancel scan. It was confirmed in the perfect speculator scan, confirmed in the high price stock scan, and confirmed in the new 52-week highs on above average volume scan. And then SERV, Service Master Global Holdings, has given us a pocket pivot point signal, ad signal, as it's starting to break out. I think it might be a new high. 36.29 probably isn't. Close, very, very close. Inches away from an all-time breakout, heavy volume, big BOP surge. So we're going to add to that 1% for each of those. And then I was thinking about adding to FDEF, but I'm passing on it. But, if you like it, whatever. So remember, market, it's all right. It's not great. Pulled back. We have room to run because we like to find support. Recently, the 50-day moving average. If we break below the 50-day moving average, the 6.9 and 6.15 low days becomes our final line in the sand.